Well, welcome back to another exciting episode of Two Guys Talking 24.
I think you're overselling it a little bit, but I'm on board.
It's like a lot of shows. I'm Kevin. You're Bill.
I'm Bill.
And we're the two guys. And, I think I've already... I need full disclosure. I think I messed up. So last night was hour 3.
Yes.
Right? 2 to 3 o'clock.
Yes.
And last week was hour 2, but I called it episode 1. So this technically is episode 2 of Two Guys Talking about hour 3.
That's correct.
Your lips were you were like, it's like carry the one.
Whole lot of math, brother.
Nobody said math would be involved in this.
Nobody, even though it's called 24.
And by the way, the events in our vlog occur in real time. I think we need to be very forthcoming with that.
Well, until you edit everything out.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Hey, can I brag for a second?
Absolutely. Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I got to hack my phone. This is my granddaughter.
Hold it over in front of your face. Oh, look at that.
Here?
What a cutie.
February 9th at 7:40 p.m.
I saw
my daughter pushed for 8 minutes.
Oh, man.
That's it.
I saw the picture.
There's no time.
With what's your grandson's name?
My grandson is Mason.
Leaning over the crib.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's the thing you normally say? And there's something in my eye. I was waiting for you to say that. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's much more. We should do Two Guys Talking about Two Kids.
We could do it.
Except I have 3. Well, anyway, that's different. Hey, and shameful plug though for you. You're a podcaster now.
Shameful plug?
Well,
how about shameless?
What did I say? Shameful? Did I say shameful?
Yeah, podcast living life with a microphone on through the Mix 101.5 website, WRAL-FM.com. And it's going to be on, and you know this stuff better than I different platforms. I don't know what's on iTunes yet. There's one called Stitcher, I think Google Plus. Mm-hmm. I may be wrong on all of those, but I know that you are going to be able to subscribe to them. And I'm talking about stuff like my grandson, my daughter, and then my new granddaughter, and being married. And it's really, as the title implies, living life with the microphone on, living my life, and then telling you about it. But hopefully with some insights and inspired by the late Jimmy V's quote, when he said, if you think, you laugh, and you cry every day, you've had a heck of a day. So I hope that each one will make you either laugh or think or cry, or maybe all 3. I don't know.
Well, that's neat.
Kind of like life.
There you go. So anyway, there's the shameless plug. What would be a shameful plug?
I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so hour 3. Now you said before we went on, you almost texted me last night during the show, which I'm watching live because we cut the cord a couple of years ago, so I have to watch it live and pay attention and stay awake. All 3 hard things for me to do. So what was it?
Well, I mean, I'd be jumping right into the big reveal from last night.
Okay, by the way, we're going to give spoilers out. So if you haven't watched the show, you ought to watch the show and then come back and watch this.
It's hard to review the show and not give spoilers. I mean, we could just sit here and go, wow, that was awesome.
And when he did, and then...
Yeah.
Wow.
At that time... Well, first of all, right out of the box, because I'm kind of sensitive to such things... the 2 policemen that Eric took hostage and now he's in the evidence room. The older cop, the grizzled veteran.
Yeah.
I cannot get away from that bad hairpiece he's wearing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, every time I see him, I'm like, ooh, why do you do that?
But
don't do that. And also last week you said, those aren't real explosives. Well, apparently they are.
And have you ever noticed... most TV shows, when they have to blow a hole in something, it's a really nice hole. I mean, it's almost kind of like a cartoon thing. I expected to almost see there was Wile E. Coyote's body or something. It's just like, wow.
Hey, be careful. It might just be a painting of a hole in there. You're going to hurt yourself.
Oh, no. Yeah, yes, I stand corrected on that.
What would be funny too is if they blow a hole and it turns out it's a load-bearing wall.
It comes down.
They haven't talked to a structural engineer about that.
On the next episode of 24, evacuation. No, excavation. I don't know words. It's just shameful.
Yeah.
See how I work that in?
And so, Rebecca, the former head of CTU, is still whispering far too much.
I'm sorry, what?
Exactly.
But I
didn't pick up, I heard everybody else last night, but with her, had to hit the volume. It's like, what is she saying?
I did like the way, though, they resolved getting, it's just me today, how they resolved getting him out of the police headquarters.
That was quick, wasn't it?
Well, we've only got 12 hours of 24 to go.
Hang on a second.
Yeah. Rebecca.
Can I phone a friend?
Yeah.
Boom, here they are.
Yeah. So, what else?
The other thing about that, too. He gets out, he's in his car, he calls his wife, on the phone. I look at the timer on TV. It's 17 minutes into it. So 2 hours and 17 minutes into this day, think of everything that's happened.
Oh, yeah.
In 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and let's go to the wife for a second. So when Isaac's girlfriend, which I refer to as Sweet Thing because I don't know her name or the actress, when she's like, "Oh yeah, give me the phone," and she just gives it to her, Ashlyn goes. She looked at me and she goes, "Really? Or what?" I'm like, yeah, because I thought that was very lame. It's like, okay, you're not a hostage.
Well, she felt like one. I mean, the girlfriend who feels, still jealous about, I guess, Eric.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, she was intimidating. I mean, maybe I don't know.
So
it was odd. It was odd.
I want to throw one more thing out before we get to the what I think was probably the big reveal last night, which even I think deepens the mystery. But the whole high school thing, I feel like it's like High School Musical on crack. It's like, okay, first of all, I'm not really caring that much, but then all of a sudden the guy, he's like a zombie walking through the woods and he falls. Oh, so when the girl runs up and she goes, "Oh, I'm his girlfriend. Can I go with him?" The guy's like, "Yeah, get in."
Sure.
My wife looks at me and goes, "Really? Really?" It's like, don't try that at home, kids.
I like when the ball just comes and rolls right up to him and stops right there. It's like, uh-oh. That was interesting. I mean, they had to do something, but that was interesting. The guy comes out and they're out there playing soccer or whatever, and then he collapses. Let's get him before anybody sees us.
Yeah.
And the ball comes rolling up.
So up until the point where, is it Aman? I can't think of Ben Khalid's son's name, but when it looks like he's getting ready to put Ben Grimes down.
Yeah.
I was still thinking, and I'm not completely 100% unsold on this, that, what would a twist be that he's really working with our government? Because even last night when he says, if you look at the times he's delayed everything, he goes, "Well, no, I tell you what, I'll go take care of it." I don't know.
It's awful early, man. 12. We've got 9 hours left.
There goes that math thing.
There it is, that math thing. I was going to do what percentage has already gone by, but I'm not going to mess with that. I think it's another red herring.
What I'm saying or what he's doing?
Well, what he's doing, what you're saying is what I think we're supposed to pick up on.
Yeah.
Why does he keep delaying that? Maybe he's a good guy.
Yeah.
But I think they're just throwing a lot of that stuff at us. What I wanted to text you about, you want to hear about that?
Yes, go for it.
I almost texted you, and I got to remember the guy's name now. So it's Henry. It's Donovan's dad.
Yes.
So when he's talking to Rebecca comes in, and were they in his house or something? And were they in a kitchen?
Yes. Yeah.
I meant to go back and watch it again. They're in a kitchen, and he says, "Do you really think that something's going to go on in my house and I don't know about it?"
Mm-hmm.
And my jaw just was like, "Oh my gosh, he's a bad guy. Gerald McCraney is a bad guy." And I told Marianne that, and it's like, maybe. And then sure enough,
so
that's
you called
the reveal.
that. Yeah.
He's the leak.
I didn't see that.
It was a physical feeling. It was like it wasn't a logical thing. It was like, I don't know if that was his acting. I don't know if there was some subtle clue that I was supposed to see. But I mean, it like bam, it hit me. He is up to something.
So they've framed Neela.
Yeah,
basically made it look like she was there.
And the whole thing was, that's not me. And they're looking at her.
Yeah.
And I've been in those situations where someone is absolutely gaslighting you.
Yeah.
And you start doubting your own judgment. I mean, I felt badly for Rebecca going, now she's really losing it.
Well, what we don't know, because it was really early and it was kind of a him, because then when he says it was hard enough giving up the Rangers. And then he references, that's what you said last time. So there was a reference to another time he's done something. He is the leak who gave up the Rangers, but by him saying it, he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
So, and then Slimy Dude says, well, we have to do this, or do you want to just burn down? So it's kind of like he's setting up something that I wonder will propel John. I think is Jimmy Smith's character, John. He sees that as getting him into the presidency. I can't figure out what his play is yet.
Yeah, what's the term? Machiavellian. There's something. There's lots of moving parts behind the scenes. That's what we can assume. But I tell you, man, that reveal was like, everybody loves Gerald McCraney.
I know, Major Dad.
And it's like, oh my gosh.
Well, and you said something a second ago, and you're right. It's still early. And one of the things I liked about Live Another Day so well is that, I mean, obviously big fans of 24, but you really had to make, since you had half a season, if you will, you had to make every minute count. So I think it allowed them to cut away a lot of the stuff that in the past they had to fill. So, the McRaney thing could play out for quite a while, and then the conflict it's going to have with Rebecca and with John,
Well, yeah, I mean, in the early days, as you're watching this, if you're like Kevin and I, and have watched 24 from the get-go, with this more compacted, condensed season, you don't have the cougars stalking, and you don't have the fits of amnesia, and it's a leaner and faster moving process.
I am glad that Fox didn't tease Tony again last night in the credits, because it's like, okay, you floated that out. We know he's coming. I hope it's not going to be one of these. They're going to drag him out in chains, and he's like, well, and by the way, you'll have to turn it up. If you want my help, you'll have to let me out. And they go, no, go back.
Yeah, I want a presidential pardon. Yeah. That was the go-to early on in 24. Everybody needed a presidential pardon in writing.
And I need a full-time acting gig.
In the previews too is what it looks to be is an EMP.
Yeah, which has happened before.
A magnetic pulse device. Yeah. They said, you see this thing go off, explode, and then they're like, we're down. We've no communication.
Which, if you remember, happened in the last season, the very last season. They set off the EMP that wiped out. It was when kind of like CTU was back when it was in New York. They moved it to New York, and they were in the bunker, and they've driven the car in, and it was a pretty cool effect.
Yeah,
I will say though, in the previews for next week, it looks like somebody just like some janitor accidentally hit the extension cord, and it's like, oh dang it, like a Tim Conway in the back doing the old man.
Something we've mentioned before, and I might be wasting your time with this, but the forerunner of this whole 24 thing, to me, it's the same guys behind it. Was back in the 90s, was the USA Network show La Femme Nikita, which was a series spun off of the movie, which was originally a French movie.
Which was phenomenal.
And then there was the Bridget Fonda version, which was not so much. But the TV show was really good, and it was very much like 24. There was a lot of gray. There was a lot of, is he a good guy or a bad guy? I've got all the DVDs, and one vacation, perhaps, I'll wade through all of those.
Yeah, it's a great. In fact, speaking of that, John Cassar directed last night's episode.
Yeah.
And he's one of the original. In fact, he had tweeted it, hey, we're directing, I think it was a shot in the subway and stuff like that. So he's got a certain style. It seems to be when there's the heavy action that comes in. It's good. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes.
Well, and again, we're only 3 hours into 12, so...
Yeah. Oh, no. Here we go. Cypher, carry the one.
Is that 25%?
It's a lot left. That's all right. This is Two Guys Talking 24. There's our freeze. Every week we do this. We break it down. We talk about it. We spin our rumors, which are usually and our speculations, which are usually off. Even though you called the Gerald way before I did last night.
I'm telling. I mean, it was a physical. I had a physical reaction. I'm going to watch that again today.
Yeah. You can connect with us. You can connect with me on Twitter at Kevin Kolbe Dude.
Twitter, I'm bjordan1015.
And the podcast. Don't forget the podcast.
And the podcast, and that's at the WRAL-FM.com website under features right now. But again, there's going to be a separate tab for podcasts, and that's forthcoming too. But also on my Facebook page, and on Facebook, it's public page is Mix Bill Jordan, Jordan, spelled like my cousin Michael.
Well, there you go. And also this will be up on faceuporiginal.com and YouTube. We'd love to hear your comments, your theories. Share it. Thanks for watching. I'm Kevin.
I'm Bill.
Peace out.